Whether you make $15,000 a month or $1,500 a month, you'll find yourself in a pickle if your income suddenly stops and you've been living paycheck to paycheck. That's just simple math and most of us are aware of this, yet most people spend their life spending most of the money they make. So the bigger percentage of your income you can save, the less you'll be in trouble the day your paycheck gets cut off. The problem is, it's a lot harder to save 10% of your paycheck when you're making $1,500 a month than when you're making $15,000. In this video, we'll go over the 4 types of financial situations that exist in our modern capitalist society and what to learn from each of those types. Let's get started. So the 4 types of financial situations we're looking at are based on 2 simple binary variables: whether you're rich or poor, and whether you're saving money or not saving money. And from those 2 variables, we build our rich-poor matrix. So let's start with the first category in the top left corner: rich people not saving money. People in this category often have what's commonly referred to as rich people problems. For instance, they have to maintain the pool and can barely fetch $5,000 to do it, or they have 3 houses but can barely afford their mortgage payments, or they have dozens of memberships they never use charged on their cards every month. They guzzle down their last few $100s of the month in filling up their 4 cars with gas, and they complain about not having enough to pay for their kids' private schools. Those are just a few examples to give you a vibe of what we're talking about here. Those are rich people problems, right? And you'll see a lot of these guys on Instagram, and although you might envy their lifestyle, you probably don't want to try to emulate their financial habits. These people might make good money now, but they're terrible at keeping it, and it will most likely cause them trouble sooner or later. In the US, more than 4 in 10 high-income consumers live paycheck to paycheck. It's crazy to think that at the end of the month, these people have the same amount of money left in their bank account as the people making barely enough to cover their basic needs: $0. This is especially crazy when you consider that the more money you make, the less percentage of your income you have to save for financial stability. In other words, the more you make, the easier it is to stay wealthy. For instance, if you're making $10,000 a month, which is a great salary, you have to save 10% of your income in order to get $1,000 in cash savings every month. But if you make $15,000 a month, you only have to save 6.6% of that income to get $1,000 in cash savings. And of course, instead of keeping that $1,000 liquid in an account, you can invest it, and that's how you stay wealthy. As an example, if you had invested $1,000 a month in the S&P 500 for the past 10 years, you would now be sitting on almost $250,000. So again, this goes to show that it's easy to stay wealthy when you make a lot of money, but a lot of people are not financially responsible and blow through their whole paycheck. Right below that category in the matrix, we have the opposite type of people. We have poor people not saving money. This is the most precarious situation of them all. Oftentimes, people who make little or very little money simply can't afford to save, especially with the recent surge in inflation. That being said, even if you only make $1,500 a month and manage to invest 5% of your income, which is $75, in a low-cost index fund like the Vanguard S&P 500, you can build yourself a nice little rainy fund. If you had invested that money every month for the past 10 years, you would now be sitting on almost $20,000, which is nothing to sneeze at, especially when you make $1,500 a month. But the thing is, people who have low-paying jobs often have low education and therefore not much awareness of the financial system as a globality. They don't really know about any of the options they could have access to try and get themselves out of poverty. It seems easy and even natural to get an education when you come from a privileged background, but it really isn't. 1 in 10 Americans lives in poverty, but experts argue this number is greatly underestimated because it is based on the official poverty measure, which has remained virtually unchanged since the mid-60s. In reality, nearly 20% of Americans make below $25,000 per year, which is pretty low again, given the current surge in the cost of life. The third category is poor people saving money. The people who don't make a lot of money but do manage to educate themselves on the benefits of saving and building a better financial future, those people have the best chances of getting out of poverty and climbing the ladder. As we said before, it's very important to get an education, and as long as you can attend a public university or a state school, you're setting yourself up on the right track. A lot of people think that you need to go to fancy schools to get a higher salary or a better chance at succeeding in life. That's not really true. Ramsey Solutions recently released the National Study of Millionaires, which is the largest survey of millionaires ever with 10,000 participants. They found out that only 8% of millionaires went to prestigious schools and almost 2/3 graduated from public state schools. Saving money when you don't make a lot is a huge difference from not making a lot of money and living paycheck to paycheck. of all the categories mentioned in this video, the transition from being poor not saving money to being poor saving money is the hardest one to execute. Once you cross that line, you may eventually be able to move to the last box, thinking very long term in a timeline of many years or even decades sometimes. And that last category is rich people saving money, aka the 1%. So it may seem like a stretch to say that you can go from, poor not saving money to poor saving money to all of a sudden being in the 1%. Again, we're looking at a very long-term horizon, and we're looking at bettering our financial habits and understanding how the financial system works in order to go from one box to the other in that matrix. The topic of this video is not how to get there, it's more to understand the foundation of that system. So the people in this last category also have rich people problems, but unlike the people from the first category, they can afford to pay for them and still have money left at the end of the month. To put things in perspective, 1 in 10 Americans makes over $200,000 per year, and you have to be making on average $600,000 per year to be in the top 1%. So someone making $600,000 a year can easily live on 10% of their income, right? I mean, 17% of Americans make between 50K and 75K a year, so we're right in that ballpark. All they have to do that is to not increase their lifestyle. But of course, very few people who make $600,000 a year live on $60,000. And the thing is, as long as you don't increase your lifestyle exponentially versus the money you make, you'll probably be fine because you'll have some money left at the end of the month. The problem is when people make a certain amount of money and they want to look like they make more. And again, this happens in every category of the matrix. It's not just rich people. And the reason people want to look richer than they really are is because a lot of our behavior is driven by social media, ads, and how others look at us, right? Why live in a normal house with a normal car when you're making $600,000 a year? You can live in a mansion and get a Ferrari, right? Well, the right answer would be because it's better to invest in the financial future of you and your family, for instance. I mean, when you make $600,000 a year, you have a massive opportunity to create generational wealth. If you make a lot of money and save most of your income, you can literally become financially free within a few years. Here's an example. Assuming 30% goes to taxes, here's how much you would have now if you had invested $360,000 per year, which is $30,000 a month, in the S&P 500 for 7 years only. You would have $4 million. Again, that's basically generational wealth that will compound over time as long as you leave it in the investment account. A few other ideas: $4 million in the Vanguard S&P 500 fund will also generate $55,000 a year in dividend, which again is a normal income for most people. $4 million will also buy you dozens of real estate properties you can invest in to generate rental income and increase your net worth through appreciation. With $4 million, you can also invest in a privileged savings account, usually only accessible to high net worth individuals, and you can make somewhere around 5% return easy with almost no risk and a guaranteed $200,000 in your pocket every year. Or, and that's what a lot of people would do, you can buy a bunch of Gucci shoes, you can buy a Lamborghini and a 10-bedroom mansion, but then your money will be gone in no time. That's the downside. People who make a lot and save a lot understand that, and so they live below their means and they multiply their wealth by using their money the smart way. So in conclusion, the first category of people live an unsustainable lifestyle because they will run out of money at some point. They already have the income to be rich. All they have to do is to start caring less about appearances and luxuries and reduce their expenses so that they can invest a higher percentage of their paycheck into a flourishing financial future. The second category of people are often stuck in a poverty loophole. They live paycheck to paycheck because they don't make a lot of money, they can never invest or don't even know that they could invest in the first place, and month after month they don't see the end of the tunnel. This is the trickiest category to get out of them all because moving from this to box number 3 is determined by your education level, your social background, and it's a much broader issue in general that we're not going to cover all of its aspects here in this video. So with that in mind, people who make it from box 2 to 3 deserve a big congrats because it's not easy, and they can now establish a financial foundation to potentially move themselves up into the 4th box many years down the line, where they will not only save more money, which is what got them from 2 to 3 in the first place, they will also have the opportunity to create generational wealth. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found good insights in there, and I hope that it helped you understand the financial equation of life a bit more. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and remember also to leave a thumb up on the video if you liked it. Thanks again for watching. It means the world. See you in the next video. Enjoy the journey you're on.